so the free market is somewhat of what we see. What you're going to find is that we actually use a lot of times a mixed economy, but our mixed economy is closer to a free market than anything else. But a market in general is any arrangement that allows buyers and sellers to exchange ideas. So we think of a market as a store, but it could be just about anything. So, you know, one of the biggest markets now is the internet, because you're allowed to buy almost anything on the internet and exchange things. But anytime that we have a market, we're exchanging the things we have for the things we want. So this could be a barter or trade system, but this could also be our monetary system. We're having the money that we have and we're exchanging for whatever we want to buy. And so, you know, we put the term free in here to describe the economic system. It typically requires specialization, which is the concentration of productive efforts of individuals and businesses on a limited number of activities. This leads to efficiency in the use of capital, labor, and good, and it benefits the business to allow them to use their factors of production more efficiently. So anytime that we are not completely self-sufficient, we are requiring some sort of specialization. So unless you are living off on your own and, you know, the woods, whatever, growing your own food, hunting your own meat, whatever, creating your own shoes, okay, you are involving some sort of specialization. And pretty much all modern societies do. In a modern market-based economy, people earn income by specializing in particular jobs. They then use this income to buy the products that they want to consume. And this is why you specialize. It's more efficient, and so then we can use sort of that efficiency to then sort of get other products. So, and I would be the first to admit, like, I need specialization because I wouldn't survive on my own. Okay, I can't grow anything, and my hunting skills are minimal at best. And then if I hunt it, like, I do not think I can stomach, like, gutting a fish or anything like that. Like, they're just not my specialties. Like, I need somebody else to do those things for me unless I'm just starving to death. So we use that in order to use what we're good at to then make up for the things we're bad at. And it's better for our society. Because then, like, if you're not good at it, and I am, then we can work together, and maybe you have a trait that I'm not good at. Okay? If you can stomach, you know, hunting and whatnot. Like, I'm not a vegetarian. I don't like meat. I just don't want to have to, like, touch it before it's, you know, nicely wrapped in my grocery store. Okay? I need people to do that for me. Okay? I'm also, like, blood makes me a little squeamish. I need somebody else to be able to operate on people. Okay? Me doing it, I'm just going to pass out. So I need those kinds of people and those specializations. And society needs those to be more efficient and to be able to do those. And so other than our traditional economy that can sometimes be less specialized, when we get into modern economies, like, we need this specialization. So more specifically, when we look at a free market economy, we look at using specialization and using sort of, I don't know, technology, but answering those three economic questions by a voluntary exchange of markets. Okay? It is the free economy that answers all three of our economic questions. And this is also at times called capitalistic economies, or also called free enterprise economies. Okay? Pretty much all of these are exchangeable for a free market. Okay? They're the same thing. So participants in a free market are households and firms. A household is a person or group living in a single residence and owns the factors of production and consumers of goods and services. A firm is a business, which is an organization that uses resources to produce a product or a service, which it then sells. And it transforms inputs, the factors of production, into outputs. All right. Do not get confused here. People, an individual, is typically both. Okay? We are typically a member of a household and a member of a firm. Okay? Just at different times. Okay? Right here, right now, we are in different ones. Okay? We are at a market doing different things. So which one am I in right now? Which one am I representing right now? Where am I at of these two? Am I a household or am I a firm? Am I acting in a household or a firm? which means you're what? It's probably an easier question. If we're on opposites, what does that make you? Household. Why? What are you doing right now? You're learning. Okay. So what are you, if I'm here, what are you doing from me?
You're giving us the knowledge you're consuming.
So you're acting as a consumer of a service. Now you're going through OCS and Catholic Con to do that. But I'm here because I'm working. Okay? I'm part of this factors of production. I'm here earning my wage. So even though we're at the same place, like, do not get stuck on tangible places and tangible people. Because I am also a consumer of goods and services. Okay? Just not right now. You know, give me 2 hours and suddenly I'm doing this whenever, you know, I'm out shopping or, you know, buying dinner or whatever. Okay? But right now, we're doing 2 different things. All right. So we can represent these exchanges in a diagram called a circular flow model. And one similar to this is in your book. And what happens is, like, it's cyclical of the fact that, you know, you have firms and you have households, and you'll have a product market and a factor market to then exchange these things. And so I'm going to come back to this here in a second, because I want to give sort of the definitions here and then explain how this works. So a factor market is a firm that purchases the factors of production from households. A product market is a household that buys the goods and services that firms produce. And so we'll go back. And so in our flow, okay, we can essentially be doing the same thing. Okay? So if I'm coming from a household to a product market, then I am buying that product. If I am coming from a household to a firm, I'm going through a factor market because they're buying my factors of production. They're buying my labor. So right now, although we're in a market because we're exchanging goods and services, I'm coming through a factor market because I'm selling my wages, versus you're coming through a product market because you're buying those goods and services. Same market, same tangible place. Okay, so don't get stuck on this term of market as a tangible place. Because sometimes a factor or product market and a factor product, a product market and a factor market are the same place. They're both a marketplace. Does that make sense? Alright, so if you're coming from a household, the monetary flow is you go into the firm because you're giving them money in exchange for goods and services. Okay. A firm has to go through the factor market to buy wages and those factors of production, because people own those factors of production. And then the monetary flow is going this way because they're paying for their wages. And so the light orange is goods and services. The darker orange is money. Alright, so according to Adam Smith, competition and our own self-interest actually help to keep the market functioning. In 1776, he publishes The Wealth of Nations, which should also give you sort of a clue on why we sort of became a free market, because that's also the year of the Revolutionary War. But he goes through and he describes how markets function and why markets sort of satisfy these goods of production. And that self-interest is the motivational force in the free market. And it's the push that leads people to act. Okay? Because some of us, might go to work for the goodness of our own hearts, but most people go to work why? To get paid. Okay? Most people that are going to work overtime are not doing it because they really like to work. They're doing it because they're going to get paid extra. Because it's in their own self-interest to get more money. But it's also in the interest of the economy because they're producing. And they are making goods to then sell. And the more goods we sell, the more growth our economy sees. But you individually are not doing it for the goodness of the economy or the goodness of your heart. You're doing it because you're making money off of it. It's good for you because you get money. Okay? Most of you want to strive to be entrepreneurs to get more money, your own business and to make money. or for a higher paying job to get more money, to then buy more things. Okay? And this is where we struggle, at least, in the Catholic school, because we don't necessarily see greed sort of as a good thing. Okay? And greed itself is not, because, one of the, sins of our society. But we also have to see sort of this motivation as a good thing because it's good for society. Okay? It's good for society for you to want to make money. Now, as a Catholic, and to get to heaven, I also want you to tithe some of that money, do nice things with it, whatever. But as a society, we need you to want to make it. Does that make sense? Do you see how that makes growth? Alright, so an incentive is the hope of reward or fear of penalty, and don't forget this part, that encourages a person to behave in a certain way. And Adam Smith is going to observe that people respond in a predictable way to both positive and negative incentives. Meaning if I offer you a positive incentive, it's going to make you want to do it. If I offer you a negative incentive, it makes you not want to do it. And he's basically going to say that most people fit into that pattern. If I'm going to offer you $5 to do it, it's going to make you want to do it. If I'm going to say this costs you $5, it's going to make you want to not do it. That's all it says. Competition is the struggle among producers for the dollar of consumers. While self-interest is the motivating force behind the market, competition is the regulating force. It's what keeps people honest. And so, ideal conditions, the free market will meet many goals. It will meet economic efficiency, economic freedom, and economic growth. Okay? And this is why we choose it. Okay? Efficiency because it's self-regulating and it can respond rapidly, not instantaneously, but rapidly to changing marketplaces. It also gives us economic freedom, and it's the highest degree of economic freedom of any system. There's free in the title. Okay? We can do whatever we want to. And economic growth because competition encourages innovation. Okay? But you have to have competition. And this is why we say ideal conditions. Is that not all the time does the free market work in ideal conditions. Because it's not that simple. Okay? We have to have competition. We have to have sort of regulating forces to make sure that we have competition. Monopolies kill this system. And monopoly is one of the worst things for free enterprise. Okay? Because then you can charge whatever you want to. Okay? Other positives of free enterprise. We have a wide variety of goods. We have consumer sovereignty, which means that customers have the power to decide what gets produced. We have this phrase that consumer is king in our society, which means that if you don't like it, it goes in the clearance bin, we stop producing it. If you like it, we start producing more of it because it makes sense to.